Morning guys, in this video I'm going to talk about fantasy, and I'm not talking about a dirty, filthy, perverted fantasy, so don't get too excited. It's quite a boring, mundane fantasy actually, but it's one that most people have, and it's this belief that we've got this inner ability to just not give a shit about what people think of us. And it couldn't be further from the truth, but people genuinely believe that we can just close ourselves off to the noise around us, and any insults or criticisms that come our way are just going to bounce off us like we've got bulletproof breasts or something, like we're some kind of superhero. And it couldn't be further from the truth, because it is just a fantasy. And I want to answer the question in this video of why do we care so much about what people think about us, and also how we can care less about what people think of us. And the other day when I was at work, I was having a nightmare. Everything was going wrong. And when I was at work, I wasn't bothered about everything that was going wrong. What bothered me more was what the people around me, all my work colleagues, what they were thinking. Because I'm just thinking everybody's judging us, everybody's watching, and they can see I'm having a nightmare. And I cared more about what people were thinking about me than just getting through the problems that I was having in the job. And I asked myself the question, I'm just going to, people actually say to themselves, I'm just going to stop giving a shit what people think. But you can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've got a short answer and a long answer, and an answer that might surprise you. So the first short answer is why do we care so much about what people think of us? It's because we're not psychopaths. If you don't give a shit about what people think of you, then you are a psychopath. Because if you look psychopath up in the dictionary, it literally is a person who lacks empathy or care or feelings for the people around them. So can you imagine if a child gets cancer and you just don't care? Or your parents, your mum or your dad or somebody you love gets hit by a bus and you just don't give a shit because it's not you, so you don't care. That kind of world would be the shittest kind of world we live in. Because I get it. Getting insults and criticisms and being judged by other people, it's horrible. It creates anxiety, it causes stress. But we've also, on the other side, society gives us feelings of empathy and feeling that we're cared for, feeling that we love, we've got friendship and things like that. Those are things we definitely don't want to let go of. Yes, we want to avoid and care less about people criticising and judging us. But the short answer is you care because you're not a psychopath. And that kind of leads me into the next answer, which is the long answer, but I need to sort of take us back a few million years to prehistoric man, when we lived in caves. Because back then, in the prehistoric times, humans were not really built to survive in the wild. We can't run very fast, we can't climb very well, we don't have long teeth to sort of kill animals with. But what we did have is we've got a superior intelligence. And that superior intelligence evolved because we relied on being social creatures and being in tribes and groups of people to survive. Because if you were alone back in them times when there was predators all around, you just didn't survive, you died. And humans knew that we had to be remaining a part of a tribe in order to survive. So if you've got some weakling in your tribe who's wasting food, and you can't be quiet in the nighttime when there's predators around, and he's risking the tribe getting attacked by predators, he's going to get kicked out of the tribe, and he's going to die. And that is built in, that sort of feeling of the need for social, to be in a social tribe, to be accepted by society, is a life or death sort of feeling that's built into our DNA. It's built into the very fibers of who we are. And that's why we feel the need to be accepted, and why we care so much about what people think of us. Because over time, from them times all the way up to these times, it's how we've managed to survive and replicate and reproduce and evolve right up to this modern day, to the point where I'm sitting in my car talking into a camera and you're sitting there listening to me. So it's actually in our fibre and it's in our DNA from the very beginning of human existence. And that's why you care so much about what people think about you. So when people actually ask the question, why do I care so much about what people think of us? I try and rephrase it to something more like, how could I care less about what people think of us? Now that, I think, is a proper question. And the answer to that question, that might surprise you, is you need to find something focusing on that's worth ignoring the noise around you. And I'm sorry, I'm finding it really hard to sort of explain this. So I'll give you like as an example, an extreme example would be, imagine you're standing outside of a burning house in your street and all your neighbours are outside watching this house burn, and you are the only person who knows that there's a child inside that house, and you start running in to save that kid, and all the neighbours and all the street are all shouting at you saying, where you going, you crazy, you nuts, what the fuck you doing, get back out, get out the house. You're not going to give a shit about what people say around you in that situation, are you? You're going to go straight into that house and you're going to save that kid. And even when you've saved the kid and you bring the kid back outside, you're going to have all the praise and the pats on the back and, oh, you're a hero and this, that and that. Even those words are not going to matter to you at all, because you've been so focused on that one thing, which was saving the kid, that all of the noise around you just doesn't matter. So in order to care less about what people think about you, find something to focus on that matters so much to you that the noise around you just doesn't affect you. And that's the best way that I can explain the answer to that kind of question. So just to summarize, you care so much because it's built into the very fabric and fibre of your body. It's in our DNA. We are social creatures and we relied on social tribes to survive, because being alone in the wild, we would die. So worrying about being accepted by society is natural to us. And the one way to try and care less about what people think about us is to just find something worth focusing on that means more to you than the noise around you. Like the extreme example, the child in the burning building. You're going to run in there, you're going to save it, and you're not going to give a shit about what people think, what anybody's saying around you. You're just going to go there, tunnel vision, save that kid. Find something that you can focus on with that sort of like determination. But anyway, it's super early in the morning. I've just finished night shift. That's my night shift talk for you. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video very soon. I'm sorry it's been a long time for this video coming, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Good night.